Good morning, second grade. So today we're going to be learning about three-digit subtraction again, and today we're going to be focusing on regrouping in the hundreds. So let's start with this example together. We're always going to look at this top number, and we're going to try and draw it over here in our chart. So let's do 4 ones. Let's do just 110 and 8 hundreds. So then what we're going to do is look at this number and see if we could start subtracting. So we're always going to start in the ones. So we have 4 minus 3. We're going to go back over to our chart and cross out 3. We had enough ones to take away 3, so our answer is, in the ones place, is 1. And then we go to our next spot and we look in the tens place. In the tens place, we have 110 and we have to take away 6. But there's a little problem. We don't have enough tens to take away 6. So instead of calling over to the tens place, because we're already in the tens place, we're actually going to call over to the hundreds place. We're going to take 100 block and move it on over. Now we know that this is not just 10 ones, but instead it is 10 tens. So we're going to go ahead and draw 10 10 sticks. And that's how we would regroup in the hundreds place. So let's show that over here in our work. So we couldn't take 1 away from 6, so we had to call up the hundreds place and borrow 1. 100. So he becomes a 7, and this one becomes an 11. So now we have 11 tens in the tens place over here, and we are going to take 6 away. So we could cross out 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we are left with 5 tens. So we're going to write 5 tens down here. And then we are going to go to our hundreds place and take away 2. Now remember, we can't use this one because we already moved him over to the tens place. So we're going to take out 1, 2, leaving us with 5 hundreds. So you saw how we first start in the ones place, and then we subtract if we can. Then we go to the tens place. If we can't subtract, we have to regroup and call the hundreds and borrow 100, and we move them on over so we can subtract. Let's try another one. So we have 328 minus 156. So what we're going to do is first look at this hundreds place and see if we could subtract. We can subtract 8 minus 6, so let's go ahead and draw that over here in our chart. 1, 2, 3. We have 8 ones, and then we're going to look in the tens place and draw out our 2 10 sticks. And then we are going to look in the hundreds place and draw out our 300 blocks. Now, we're going to start subtracting. So we're always going to start in the ones place. So we have 8 minus 6. So if we go over here, we could cross out 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leaving us with 2. And then for our tens, we have 2 tens in the tens place over here, and we can't take away 5. So what we have to do is go next door to the hundreds place and borrow 10 tens. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we can't use this guy anymore, but now we can subtract. So let's show that over here in our group. So we can't take 2 away from 5. We have to regroup in the hundreds. That becomes a 2. This becomes a 12. And then we can subtract. So, second graders, if we have 12 tens and we want to take away 5, we can go over here and cross out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leaving us with 7 tens. And then if we go to the hundreds place and we have 2 hundreds left over and we want to take away 1, that leaves us with just 100. We go ahead and put that down here. So the difference of this subtraction problem is 172. And we were able to regroup using the hundreds and tens. Let's go to another example. So This one, instead of drawing a picture, we're going to try and do it using these steps. So first we're going to subtract the ones. So our jobs are to look in the ones place over here and make sure that we have enough to subtract. So we have 7, take away 6. We do, so we're going to put that down here. We have 1 left over. We're then going to look in the tens place. We have 2, we want to take away 4. Second graders, if I have 2, can I give you 4? No way. So I got to call up the hundreds, and borrow 10 tens. That becomes a 5. This becomes a 12. And then we can subtract starting in the tens place now. So we have 12 minus 4, which gives us 8. And then we have 5 minus 3, which gives us 2, making the difference 281. So I followed these steps. First, I looked in the ones place and I was able to subtract the 1, so I got that. And then if there were not enough tens to subtract, so I had to regroup. That's what we did, and then we called up the 100 and asked for 10 more, of course, and then we were able to subtract. So let's try another one together. We have 546 minus 172. So our first step is to look in that ones place and see if we could subtract. If we have 6, we could take away 2. That gives us 4. Then, second graders, let's look in the tens place. We have 4 tens and we want to take away 7. Oh no, we know we can't do that. So we got to go to the hundreds, borrow 10, and the 4 now becomes a 14. And now we can take 14 minus 7, gives us 7, and 4 minus 1 equals 3. I'm going to go ahead and check that using the hundreds, tens, and ones chart. I'm going to do it real quick. Ooh. So what I'm going to do is look at this top number first. We had 546, so I'm going to quick draw 6 ones, 4 tens, and 5 hundreds. Then I'm going to look at this bottom number, and I am going to begin subtracting. I have 6 ones, so yes, I can take away 2 ones, so I'm going to go ahead and cross those out. That leaves us with 4 ones. I agree there. And then we had 4 tens, and we want to take away 7. But we know that we can't do that because we don't have enough tens, so we're going to go to the hundreds place, take a hundreds block, and trade it in for 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we can regroup. We don't have this one anymore, but we want to take, now we have 14 tens, and we want to take away 7. We go ahead and count those out. We took away 7, and now we have 7 left, so I agree there. And then we have only 4 hundreds left, and we want to take away 1, leaving us with 3. I agree there. So for today's math work, you are going to do page 434, 435, numbers 1 through 9. Let me know if you have any questions. And remember, second graders, don't always be robots, because sometimes we don't always have to regroup. Have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.